I'm Sohrab Modi. I'm the CTO and Vice President of Engineering for Echelon. And Echelon has been in this business of IoT, as they call it today, for the last 25, 27 years. So the question is, what new features will the Echelon and Watson collaboration bring to smart lighting? To actually understand this question, we have to understand what this concept of big data is. You know, this term has been thrown around, and you know, it's caught a lot of industry today, and people are exploring what exactly big data is. You know, big data actually brings two things to the table. The first is that it's not only about lots of data, it's about data that we never previously used to make a better decision in our decision-making process. And the second thing is that big data also has an association with lots of very intricate, very well understood algorithms that create an artificial intelligence. Now, IBM is one of the premier companies today that have knowledge and information and capabilities around artificial intelligence. So what we decided to do was we actually collaborated with IBM to utilize some of their capability to make a better decision about lighting. And this is pretty novel. It's not been done before. In most situations, when people talk about data, they talk about data that they capture themselves. We're talking about data that's actually been brought in from a third party and analyzed through Watson so that we can make a better decision on the type of light. We've actually successfully deployed this in the city of White Bear Lake, Minnesota. It's a suburb of St. Paul. And actually this is done with a twist, and that we've actually converged not only weather predictive capabilities, but we've also converged and applied white tuning to that capability. So, for example, it's not only if there was a gloomy day or a rainy day or a snowy day and we would dim or brighten the lights, but we can actually also change the color of the light. And by doing so, we can understand the impact it has on safety, the impact it has on humans. And so it's we're very excited about this. How does tunable lights work, and why would cities consider using it, right? Yeah. So the whole lighting industry is going through a disruption today, and the disruption is coming in from LEDs. The thing we have to understand about LEDs is that it's so different. It's really a semiconductor that's actually bringing in illumination. And what this does is it gives us the flexibility to make changes. Yeah. One of the changes that we actually can make is changing the frequency of light. And so, there's the capability of doing a warmer light, which is around 1800, to 3000 Kelvin. And then the ability to make a cooler light, which traditionally has also been called as blue light. And that goes from about 3500 to 5500 Kelvin. Now, we never really understood this. We never really understood the impact of the changing frequency of light on the human body. So the reason you actually wake up in the morning is because the morning light is bluer in its frequency. And when that blue light hits your ganglion cells in the eye, it actually cuts off the melatonin production. And by cutting off the melatonin production, you actually wake up. And the reverse effect happens in the night. So this is very exciting, it's very new, it's very innovative, and I'm really excited about where the lighting industry is going with this. Recently, the American Medical Association came out with a publication, essentially. One of the things that they talk about is that the lighting being used in outdoor lights today are more on the blue frequency range. And that's actually not very great for health. Most of the lighting outdoor is in that frequency range, and at nighttime, you don't want to have that type of light available, right? Because it essentially cuts out melatonin production, as I said, and then that causes, sleep problems, essentially. And so, this is a bit of a problem in the industry because people will go and deploy all these lights all over the place and now have no way of changing it out unless you did a complete rip and replace. But, with our controls, essentially, you can actually soften the glow, you can soften the frequency, you can, at times you can increase the frequency, at times you can decrease the frequency, thereby giving the cities a lot of flexibility to provide the right color of light for its residents. I think one of the differentiators that we bring to the table is that we are one of the only ones that I know of that have the ability not only to be able to dim the lights as a lot of people do, but to be able to tune the color and the frequency of light in outdoor lighting. And this actually answers one of the bigger issues that cities are facing today, and they have no options, right? While we're giving cities an option here to say, look, this is about not only improving safety, but it's about, trying to improve and enhance the health of your citizens and make a smarter community. This is an industry that's done the same thing for a long period of time, maybe 40 years, maybe more. And then suddenly they're being injected with all this new disruption and this new capability. So there are a couple of challenges in this case, right? When you think about lighting in general, people are wary of new technology because they haven't been exposed to it, right? And hopefully this conversation will help, remove some of that fear, right? So people are risk averse to the technology because they just don't know how it works, right? But it's going to happen, right? And it's going to come in, and this is the future. So we got to sort of educate ourselves, we got to train ourselves, we got to understand this capability a little more. City, what is a smart city, right? And this is an interesting question. People use the term, and there's no real, the answer you get will depend on who you ask. Some people think it's about energy and efficiency and sustainability. Some people think it's about public transportation, and some people think it's about asset management. Some people think it's about about this thing called big data, right? And so whatever it is, it is going to happen. And there's going to be numerous capabilities that need to come together into some sort of platform where you can actually manage it more efficiently. And smart cities today, there is another problem in smart cities that I see that we would have to overcome. Even if people accepted the platform and accepted that this is occurring, there is actually a human fragmentation within a city. There's the police department, then there's the facilities department, there's the energy department, there's the asset tracking department. And most of these departments don't even necessarily look at each other, much less talk to each other, right? And that human factor of collaboration is something that I see that we would have to overcome. And while you overcome technology, it's the human aspects are actually more difficult to overcome in the future.